At this time, we are going to hear from those of you in the audience who wish to address us, beginning with Michael Schroeder. He'll be followed by Steve Baric, Daryl Nolta, and Jennifer Johnson. So get ready in that order.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the board. It's an honor to appear before the board today. We would respectfully request, my name is Michael Schroeder. I'm the attorney for Trung Win and the Trung Win campaign, and we would respectfully request that the board take no action at this time at today's meeting on this agenda item for two reasons. First, we believe it is premature. Specifically, the recount in question was not completed, and I will not get into the details of that because we provided extensive written testimony to the board, and we provided a copy to the court clerk, and you have that, and I won't belabor and take up the audience's time, but briefly, we believe that the recount was not completed for two reasons. First off, we believe that the law is very clear that in order to complete a recall, you have to do it pursuant to 19253b1 of the Elections Code, which specifically says that you will use the paper trail and recount the paper trail in case the machine's made a mistake. And it says you shall do it for any full recount. Law couldn't be clearer. That did not happen here. So we do not believe there's a recount properly before you. The second thing is the Janet Wynn campaign only completed half of the recount of the paper ballots. Specifically, what is required is that you go and you pay for the number of tables that you want, and then you have your tables, you can stop anytime you want, go forward until they've completed a complete count. In this case, that's not what happened. What actually happened was she paid for two tables, they counted half the ballots. A gentleman named Mr. Feather, we have no idea who was financing him, paid for two. They could have kept going if they didn't like the count, but if they stopped and kind of took each other's numbers and totaled them together, the code simply does not allow that. An election contest will be filed today. There's a statutory framework for that. Within 10 to 20 days after that, this matter needs to be decided, and in fact, by statute, must be decided by the courts. There's a second reason why the board, I believe, should not take action today, which is that it's premature. And it will hurt both of the candidates, and it will hurt the taxpayers. If you swear somebody in today, they automatically vacate their seat, whether it is Trung Win or Janet Win. If you decide there wasn't a complete recount, then you must swear in Trung Win. If you decide there was and it was adequate, you have to decide Janet. But if you make a decision, then the courts reverse you 10 days from now, that person's out of office. And the taxpayers then have to waste the money on a special election, and that person is damaged by losing the office. If you let this matter go where it's going to go, you let a judge decide, at that point, taxpayer money is not wasted and nobody's damaged. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Schroeder. Our next speaker is Steve Baric. All speakers have 3 minutes. When the yellow light comes on, you still have a minute, so no need to panic, but you've got a minute, and then when the red light comes on, we'll thank you and hear from the next speaker.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, honorable members of the Board of Supervisors. I, too, thank you for the opportunity to be heard today. My name is Stephen Baric, and in a brief introduction, I'm the chairman of the California Republican Lawyers Association. I've been a prosecutor in this county, including a gang prosecutor in this county. In my position as chairman of the Republican Lawyers, myself, members of our organization, have supervised elections, recounts in congressional races, gubernatorial races, and presidential races, not only in the state of California, but also throughout the country. So I know a little bit about the rule of law, the sanctity of elections, and I, too, in light of the circumstances of what I have seen at the Registrar of Voters and during this recount, ask you to delay action on this item number as well. And I do so for the following reasons. One, I personally was there for all 5 days of the recount. I have an intimate understanding and appreciation for the types of ballots that were excluded, that were challenged, and I initially rose the issue regarding the electronic ballots. And I think, as Mr. Schroeder pointed out, the importance of the sanctity of the elections and the importance that the public believes that whoever takes that vacant seat sitting in the corner there is the rightful and lawful winner is important for the public to have trust in the sanctity and the rightness of the election recount and the decision made by the registrar of voters. And I would submit to all of you that I personally factually believe, based on what I've seen from the ballots, factually believe that Trung the Win was actually the winner of the recount. However, if we set that aside for a moment, I think that there's a significant question regarding how the electronic ballots were counted that would require this board to allow a court to decide. In briefing this issue, I believe that what the registrar of voters and what the county council decided, in effect, caused a stop of the recount, not an actual full recount. And that being is that everyone was under the understanding, and everybody would know, that to merely do an electronic count by, to use a phrase, pushing the button, would be merely a regurgitation of the results from election day, which is in fact no recount at all, but rather merely just replicating the results from election day. So for those reasons, factually and legally, I would ask this board to wait and allow a court to decide the issues that shall be presented before any swearing in of a candidate is conducted. And thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Baric. Darrell Nolta.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, question.
we may want to let the public know that there are great leather seats. The best seats in the House are available right in the Planning Commission room, instead of having to stand along the aisle.
There are, yes, and we do have some seats still available here to my right, and there's some right in here as well. So those of you who would like to sit down, please have a seat and join us in a comfortable manner.